The time by Sagicor is
7 o'clock.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of
Your Love Lives On with life insurance from Sagicor.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, PNP protests persist. Opposition takes protest over Chung's FID appointment to St. Catherine. In Numbers Don't Lie, we assess Clarendon North. Ambassador Audrey Marks introduced to Manchester Northeastern. Relay for Life, survivors speak on life after cancer. In the business report, Jamaica's first AI lab to be established. In sports, Reggae Boys show class to march into World Cup qualification final round. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Wednesday, June 11, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thank you so much for having joined us. As politicians on both sides continue to lay out their positions to sway the undecided, the People's National Party mounted a platform in a section of St. Catherine early Wednesday morning, hammering the government heavily, not on anything new, but this time pressing home the need for resources should they take over. More from Curlin Brown.
The central location, the heart of Old Auburn in southwest St. Catherine Wednesday morning, was more than the usual hustle and bustle, as orange was dominant, with people standing not just to protest, but for something and more than just headlines, according to one speaker. Rules. Rules which the party leader and opposition leader Mark Golding says are not only being called out by him and the PNP.
Jamaica has been racked by a government that has been in office for nearly 10 years, and they have continually breached what it takes to govern the country in accordance with principle. The most recent of these things is, of course, the attempt to subvert the true process of the Financial Investigations Division.
In stressing why issues like these matter, the party leader told the gathering they need all the resources they can muster to make life better and fix the country.
We needed money to fix the road network of the country, which has been neglected over the 9 years of the Jamaica Labour Party, and they're scrambling when elections are upon them to spark or to reach, but them can't spark and them not reach because the people of Jamaica don't make up their mind already that this government not ready and them have to go down and the people want change.
Mr. Golding had his strike on the mind blame.
Comrades, they seem to be obsessed with bad mind. They are wallowing in bad mind. All they can talk about is bad mind. When they are the ones who take the truth and turn it into lie. They're the ones who deceive the people by constant misinformation. How can they say that the Cornwall Regional Hospital is anything but a complete disaster for the people of Jamaica? Comrades, we support good mind. We support principle. We support righteousness. We support upliftment of people.
He concluded the end of the government is nigh and they will make it happen. Curlin Brown, CVM News.
The transition from international diplomacy to the rough and tumble of constituency politics is a significant one, and Ambassador Audrey Marks is hoping to make that leap successfully. She's aiming to replace the current Member of Parliament, Audley Shaw. CVM News caught up with her on the ground in Manchester North Eastern to discuss her campaign and aspirations.
Speculation was rife that Jamaica's former ambassador to the United States, Audrey Marks, now a senator, was headed to Manchester North East. The heavy presence of senior GLP members in the hills of the constituency on Tuesday, including its leader and general secretary, confirmed it is so.
We brought Ambassador Marks to have a discussion with elements of the leadership of the constituency. We have had discussions with some before now. It's not the first time we have had discussion with the councillor and other team leaders. It's a broader spectrum of the leadership of the constituency, which is, as you can see, a very strong leadership, very strong grassroots organizers who are now ready to begin the process of winning, return the seat and returning to the Labour Party, or keeping the seat for the Labour Party and sending Ms. Marks to Parliament.
After a meeting with the constituency executive, Marks said she was impressed by the reception.
This was very gratifying, just to see the openness. They spoke about their concerns, but more importantly, they expressed the optimism of us working together in the future, and they accepted the fact that I'm here to serve, and they have welcomed me into the constituency. The
constituency had been experiencing some tension due to the uncertainty surrounding a replacement for Audley Shaw, who has been the MP since 1993. Two people had lined up to take over from Shaw: Hadron Mikulski, the principal of Homewood Technical High, and Omar Miller, the councillor for the Craighead division. Shaw had endorsed Miller at a political meeting.
When someone have their own aspirations, things could go very different. So I am pleased at the generosity of spirit and the lack of selfishness, and looking ahead to the betterment of Jamaica and choosing to work with their party above their personal interest. So it was a very good day in terms of meeting both of them. I was impressed also with what they both take to the table.
The JLP is aiming for a third consecutive term in office. Marks seemed well aware of what is at stake.
The Jamaica Labour Party government has been doing a tremendous job. They have laid a foundation for our economic growth, and for a long time we have struggled with that. And I would like to see, and I want to contribute to getting that third term so that we can finish this job, because it's my dream and my desire that my children will have a future here in Jamaica, and I can clearly see all the foundational things that we need to do, you know, the debt to GDP, the infrastructure development that we have done. So I'm excited.
Dr. Chang confirmed that he spoke with Shaw about the development, and he expressed the party's confidence in retaining the seat.
He's in full support.
It
is one team going forward,
right?
And we're going to ensure that the people of Northeast Manchester continue to get quality representation that they are accustomed to.
Ambassador Marks is a welcome addition to the team. She has served us well as ambassador in Washington, and she looks forward to serving in a different capacity, well, in both as well as a member of the executive.
Shaw won the seat by 3,900 votes in 2020, 1,647 in 2016, and 573 in 2011. Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
Meanwhile, Minister of Local Government and Jamaica Labour Party Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie says Jamaicans should never allow the People's National Party, the PNP, to regain power. Minister McKenzie also alleges that the PNP is actively working to undermine the efforts of the JLP leader. More in this report.
Because the steady hands of Dr. Holness and his team has rebuilt the Jamaican economy.
Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, is actively putting more money in the pockets of Jamaican citizens. This pronouncement as he addressed supporters at the party's St. Mary Southeast Tour and Works on Tuesday. According to Minister McKenzie, the JLP, due to the astute leadership of Wholeness, has significantly reduced the financial burden of the poor.
The minimum wage. We have had increase in the minimum wage about 2 or 3 times since the form government. And it means that when the minimum wage increase, it means the livelihood of the average Jamaicans also increase.
Minister McKenzie says the social programs instituted by the PNP are lackluster. He claims it's the JLP-based programs which effectively addressed poverty and support vulnerable groups.
Look at the indigent housing program under the Ministry of Local Government, where persons who are registered on our poor relief program. Again, every parish in Jamaica has benefited from the Jamaica Labour Party indigent housing program.
Minister McKenzie believes the PNP would potentially reverse developments made by the JLP instead of making worthwhile improvements. He says historically, everything progressive in the country is opposed by the PNP.
You see them over there? You think they're nice? Everything that is positive that Jamaica wants to take the country forward, they oppose it. They're trying to destroy our leader and Prime Minister. Talking about how much bank account. Talking about who do this and who do that. The reason why they're moving in that direction, they can't confront him with programs and policies.
Shante McNeil, CVM News.
We take a break, so stay with us for more in a moment.
Every generation brings new hopes and ambitions. For 55 years, Sagicor has been helping Jamaicans to realize their dreams. As we celebrate our past, we look forward to continuing that legacy of trust, providing support and financial solutions for the next generation to succeed. Sagicor, building trust, one generation at a time.
Yo, genius! We just get the Burger King Double King combo. One original chicken sandwich plus a Whopper Junior with cheese. Well, 2 sandwiches enough. Plus a small fries and soda for only $1,300.
You use the new rubber money. You did say the money can stretch a Burger King.
Me mean you get more food for your money. One combo, 2 sandwiches.
So you want I gotta eat whole of 2 sandwich, brother? My belly can stretch, you know.
Get the BK Double King combo. Limited time only at Burger King.
Come rise with sunrise. Your Thursday kicks off with Money Masterclass. We'll keep the learning alive with a Daddy and Me baking class. Then we'll switch the beat for some Father's Day melodies. Agent Sasko is in the building. And we wrap your morning with Free Zone. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Thanks so much for staying with us. We continue the news. With 3 constituencies considered marginal or close, the stakes are high in Clarendon. Our focus this evening is on Clarendon Northern, a constituency that saw both a general local government election and a divisional by-election in 2024. Andre Jebinson now brings us numbers don't lie.
Clarendon Northern is heavily reliant on farming and residents participating in overseas farm programs, which has been blamed for election losses and wins. So Decision 2025 promises to be particularly interesting given the recent history of close contests. Former cricketer Wavell Hines is looking for a high score, while incumbent auditor Dwight Sibley is hoping there is no deviation from his previous superior numbers. But the results from recent elections suggest the volatility of the electorate and the challenges in predicting the outcome. In the 2020 election, Sibley secured a victory over longtime politician Horace Daly by a narrow margin of 713 votes. Daly was searching for his 8th win since 1989. He since left representational politics. The 2024 local poll provided a glimpse into Clarendon Northern's unpredictability. The results from the 3 divisions show a slight shift, with the JLP securing an overall majority of 379 votes. The JLP won 2 divisions, Annan Town and Kellett, while the PNP won Crofts Hill. However, the death of the Annan Town councillor shortly after his win triggered a by-election in November 2024. The by-election in Annan Town saw a turnaround, with the PNP ultimately winning by a mere 54 votes. The Clarendon Northern seat has been closely contested since its creation in 1967. The last 4 election cycles have been split evenly between the JLP and the PNP. The JLP won in 2007 and 2020, while the PNP secured victories in 2011 and 2016. So it seems Clarendon Northern will come down to the effectiveness of campaign strategies, the ability of the candidates to mobilize their supporters, and the overall political climate when the Prime Minister names the date. Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
As the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, ramps up its revenue collection process, media houses have come under scrutiny for outstanding annual fees for the display of signs and advertisements. They are being encouraged to pay up and avoid penalties. With more, here's Adrian Williams.
Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC's chairman, Andrew Swaby, highlighted media entities that have reportedly not paid fees for advertising and erected signs. He's cracking the whip on what he believes to be delinquent media houses.
Subject to Regulation 3, subsection 1 of the Town and Country Planning Control of Advertisement Regulation 1978. The law states that, and I quote, "No person shall display any advertisement in, on, or over any land or buildings without the prior approval of the local planning authority and the payment of the prescribed fees."
Swaby explains the conditions dictating the terms of payment.
If your signs, advertisement do not fall within the exemption under Section 5 of the Advertisement Regulation Act, you have an obligation to submit an application to the KSAMC and to pay the requisite fees. These fees are non-transferable. They only apply to the individual or the businesses of whom the application was submitted.
The mayor implores media houses that have not yet responded should do the right thing.
For those who have not yet responded to our official communication, we'll be taking further actions against you to ensure that the KSAMC is paid what is owed to us. We are sending a strong signal to media houses who we believe should act with more responsibility and lead by example.
This move comes amidst the damning allegations of fraud at the corporation, now under investigation. Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
In other news now, students across the island have reportedly been falling behind the page, struggling to read at levels far below their grade. But the Education Ministry says it's taking steps to tackle these challenges head-on, aimed at rewiring how literacy is taught in schools. Shante McNeil tells us more.
The Ministry of Education is cracking open a new dimension in the battle against illiteracy. Starting this September, reading will once again be a timetabled priority in primary schools across Jamaica. This according to Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, in what is now considered a growing literacy crisis. She was speaking in Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing.
Come September, from grade 1 to grade 3, we are timetabling reading. It had been taken off of the timetable some time ago, and we are putting it back on the timetable because we cannot afford for our children to leave primary school not literate. So that's our policy position.
Her comments come on the heels of a troubling report from the Pembroke Hall High School in St. Andrew that over 70% of grade 7 students either cannot read or read only at a grade 3 level. Minister Morris-Dixon admits there are long-standing gaps in the system. Many students battling literacy challenges, she says, come from difficult socioeconomic circumstances. But the ministry has been proactive identifying struggling schools and administering diagnostic tests, which will resume this summer. She adds that some schools have even taken a preemptive approach to addressing these issues head-on.
I've been to many schools, and there are some schools that will show you this was the result at grade 3. And this is the plan that we have put in place. And this is how we're seeing it change from year on year. And they'll tell you that they've been working with the ministry, they've been putting in intervention programs, and they're seeing success.
She praises schools that have taken the initiative, but warns that not all have stepped up. She's urging leadership at every level to use the tools and resources already available to make a difference.
Within another 3 or 4 years, we can eliminate this problem. But it takes the board to be proactive. A board has to be proactive. And remember, all these children at Pembroke Hall High are coming from primary schools. And so the primary schools have to take that ownership too and work with us in the ministry in addressing this.
Still, the minister is clear. Low literacy doesn't mean low intelligence. Oftentimes, the root lies in undiagnosed learning disabilities. To bridge that gap, the ministry is expanding literacy intervention programs and investing in more diagnostic testing.
We're building a new facility, which will be open this year in order to do more diagnostic tests. And what we have to do is to have more of those individuals who are trained in that area. And we have a limited supply here. Just like Minister spoke about his Barry Wint scholarship, what we're doing is providing scholarships for individuals who want to train in that area. The Ministry of Education has scholarships. We've also said to UE, you need to work with us in terms of delivering more people who can do the diagnostic tests, but also we need clinicians who can actually work with the children when it's diagnosed.
However, the path is not without hurdles. She points to the long wait times to see speech therapists, while reassuring the ministry remains committed to allocating resources to ensure no child is left behind. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
It's now time for the business report with Joel Crossgill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. As if frozen in time, the relics of Jamaica's approach to education may be on the verge of becoming a museum piece. The realization made more pronounced during an event centered around the signing of an MOU to establish a national artificial intelligence lab at the University of Technology, Jamaica, where President Dr. Kevin Brown signified the significance of Jamaica's burgeoning entrance into the age of AI.
The signing of the MOU today marks a very transformative step forward. It affirms a united commitment to innovation, national advancement, and a shared vision for a digitally empowered Jamaica. This initiative marks the beginning of a strategic collaboration that will accelerate our economic transformation and cement Jamaica's leadership in AI-driven solutions within the Caribbean and globally. As we
enter this AI revolution, it was my strong desire that we should not just be a consumer of this technology, but we should also participate in the development of this technology.
Jamaica's first AI lab will be established at the UTech by September 1. However, in describing the speed of shift currently being experienced in the educational and vocational space, Heart NSTA Trust Managing Director Dr. Tanisha Ingleton shared that the facility will serve as the lifeblood for training, research, and the development of AI-based curricula accessible to students of Heart.
We understand that we cannot afford for the rate of change outside the organization to be greater than the rate of change inside the organization. The Heart NSTA Trust has invested over $1 billion in equipment, in software, in immersive technologies over the past 3 years. And these resources fortify a new generation of training programs that integrate artificial intelligence, natural language processing, machine learning, and computer vision. We have expanded into emerging areas such as robotics, optoelectronics, virtual welding, digital construction, animation, and multimedia. This initiative equips the Trust to reform Jamaica's certification landscape, all aligned with the evolving needs of the industry.
Though the event was held under the theme, The Future of Jamaica, its antecedents required extensive and sometimes challenging foresight, particularly as it relates to Jamaica's policy leadership, described by Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information.
Transformation of education requires bravery. Tonight, we have chosen to be brave. We have chosen to leapfrog. What you have seen is not seen all over the world. This is unique to Jamaica and taking Jamaica to a different level. Tonight, we are choosing a better future for Jamaica. What we're unveiling here, the AI Lab and the Jamaica Learning Assistant, are not gimmicks or gadgets. They are foundational pillars of a new era in education. This is an era in which access to high-quality learning is not determined by income level or proximity to a quote-unquote brand-name school or innate ability to learn. One of the key things that Dushyant and I spoke about was this had to be free and available to every single child.
And it was with that same unbridled enthusiasm that the individual primarily responsible for the lab, Ambassador Dushyant Savadia, founder and CEO of the Amber Group, described how the development of a powerful agentic AI tool, currently known as the Jamaica Learning Assistant JLA, represents a breakthrough from responsibilities in the classroom and beyond that have sapped time and attention away from the nation's often overworked educators and underengaged students.
This is the first AI education tool that ever has been built at this magnitude in the world. It does not exist anywhere. You can go research. We've done our competition analysis too. It does not exist what we've done for Jamaica. And this is for Jamaica. We built a learning assistant that would allow children to learn in many ways with a voice tutor, and at the same time build something for the teachers so they can spend less time on deciding what to teach, scoring exams, and put more time to actually with the students. And then there is a whole school module where the school can see what's going on with every child and every teacher. And there is a government layer on top where the government can see what is happening in every school, every teacher, every child below. That is how we designed this fascinating product. And we called it Amber Score Excel. This is of course, it's built for Jamaica, but we're going to monetize it all over the world. In Jamaica, Amber Group is donating. AI is moving at a speed you can't even imagine. In a year's time, I promise you, agentic AI will be old, outdated. So we need to keep up with tech. We need to keep up with where the world is going. And hence the AI Lab was such an important thing for us to do here. And We are developing the curriculums. We are going to onboard 100 data analysts, engineers in Jamaica to start Jamaica's first proper AI lab to build agentic AI. Our ability in Jamaica to build multiple agents at the same time, talking to each other and creating a phenomenal large language module of Jamaica itself. When you talk to any of our bot, it will understand. Guess what? We took 20 dialects of Patois. 20. If a child doesn't know how to speak English, we will teach them how to speak English now through the bot itself, because it will repeat back in English to the child and ask the child to repeat back and correct the pronunciation. So not only we will teach them the topic, the subject, the matter, the content, but we'll also train them to be first-class English speakers too. So it's a whole revolution now with AI. I mean, I couldn't have done this 2 years ago. Now it's time. We have to use this tech to make it happen.
The Amber Score EXL in reimagining education delivery for Jamaicans first resounded with another Jamaican digital pioneer, Senator Ambassador Audrey Marks.
This is unprecedented speed. It is setting a bar for me to challenge. And we will continue to ensure that the government moves and get things done, because the solutions to address the challenges we face are here now, and this is the time.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crossgill.
CVM News at 7 continues after the break.
It's finger licking good. The time by KFC is...
Every generation brings new hopes and ambitions. For 55 years, Sagicor has been helping Jamaicans to realize their dreams. As we celebrate our past, we look forward to continuing that legacy of trust, providing support and financial solutions for the next generation to succeed. Sagicor, building trust, one generation at a time.
Save when you charge your electric vehicle with JPS. It's even more affordable than gas. Our Charge and Go network offers the fastest electric vehicle chargers, so you can power up in as little as 30 minutes. With over 39 charging points island-wide, you'll always find a convenient place to shop, eat, work, or relax while you recharge. The Charge Lab app and Charge and Go RFID card make it easy to pay and track your charge right from your phone. Start charge. Learn more at jpsco.com/charge and go.
Join my private room. Only $1,000 for a grand time.
That's not me. We never said that. But who going to believe me?
That is correct. $4,350,000. Yes, go ahead. $4 million? I never approved that.
Yes, me go doctor tomorrow. So me have to get the money today, no longer. Then no me face that. We never make no record or beg nobody no money.
Deepfakes are AI-generated images and videos made to look and sound like people we know and trust. They're used to spread misinformation, destroy reputations, and are used to commit fraud and scams. Don't fall victim to deepfakes. Protect yourself. For more information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or scan the QR code on screen.
Welcome back. Now, let's check out what's making the buzz online.
So, what's trending online today? Our Jamaican government acquired a $76 million tree relocation device, the first in the Caribbean to preserve mature trees during infrastructure projects. The machine can dig, relocate, and replant trees with a 90% success rate, supporting sustainable development and biodiversity. Let's take a look at your reactions. At Franklin Tamaria Post, nice machine still. Would I want it for rent for move some Julie mango tree and bring them a my yard? No joke. At Sasha Don M comments, 76 million could upgrade KPH and Cornwall Regional. We need comfortable hospitals. People at our hospitals defecating in buckets, or nurses need resources to work. At Mikel Telroy says, no for only in at the comment now have no common sense. Instead of pushing down trees, they'll relocate them now. What's the big deal in that? At KK Sweets 2 shares, overpriced how? I thought it would have been more. One thing with Uno I go find fault. At meangirl._.chromie asks, how is this an accomplishment on the hospital they want upgrade? At Shakir writes, I truly love this. It's the best thing I've seen all day. Instead of damaging our trees, it can be safely moved. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM Television on Facebook. I'm Michael Paul Dixon.
And we move closer to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. With the countdown on for Barbados to welcome the region and the world for the Caribbean Festival of Arts CARIFESTA 15, Prime Minister and CARICOM Chairman Mia Mottley says the island is hard at work and promises the festival will be beyond expectations. The festival, which celebrates the Caribbean's vibrant arts and culture, is set for August 22 to 31 and will be held under the theme Caribbean Roots Global Experience. But here's more from CBC News Barbados.
We intend to be true to our theme of Caribbean Roots Global Excellence as we reflect on and celebrate and showcase who we truly are. What it will be is the explosive unleashing of the grand reservoir of Caribbean creativity and capacity for celebration. Yes, we have earned this moment, and we must claim it. CARIFESTA will commemorate where we've come from, where we are at this moment in time, and where we're going on our road to transformation. I want to therefore invite you to join us here in Barbados from August 22nd to August 31st for CARIFESTA 15.
And in international news, thousands of people in Austria have held a candlelight vigil for victims of a school shooting in which 10 people were killed and a further 12 injured. Police said the 21-year-old suspect, a former student, took his own life in a school bathroom shortly after the gun attack in Graz on Tuesday, the deadliest in the country's recent history. Here's the BBC.
Well, the police are telling us they found a farewell letter at his home, as you said, but that letter didn't reveal, they said, any motivation for this attack. This man, a 21-year-old Austrian citizen who lived quite close to Graz, was a former student here at the school. Yesterday morning at around 10 o'clock, when classes were in full flow, he appeared at the school with two guns, a shotgun and a handgun that he legally owned, and opened fire before he then killed himself, we understand, in a school bathroom. Investigations are continuing, the police say, to try to get to the bottom of this terrible, terrible attack. And here at the school, people have been arriving. They've been laying flowers in front of the school gates. You can see behind me there's a sort of a barrier area for their privacy as they lay flowers there. People have put up banners, one saying Graz stands together. This is a real moment of mourning and grief for the people in Graz and the whole country.
How much information has been given at this stage about who the victims are?
And that's it for regional and international news.
Sports is the preview we're getting now from Jordan Fort.
Well, good news for Jamaican football fans. The Reggae Boys excited all who turned out inside the National Stadium last night. And I can tell you it was a significant crowd inside the stadium last night, Nika. Reggae Boys qualifying for the final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, so that's exciting news. Plus, West Indies breaking the curse, but this time the women's side.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Breaking the losing streak. The men have already been swept in both the ODIs and the